A few kilometers away from Sulmona, embedded in a rock slope of Mount Morrone, stands the Hermitage of Saint Onofrio, built by Peter Angelerio. It is here that the apostolic legates from the Conclave of Perugia, led by Charles II of Anjou, came to bring him the news of his election to the papal throne. The church is a small room with a barrel-vaulted ceiling. At the rear, an arch leads to a chapel decorated with frescoes. In one lunette is represented the Virgin and Child. In the opposite one are busts representing Saint Benedict in the center, flanked by Saint Maurice and Saint Anthony Abbot. Below, an external staircase allows access to the cave, which was the grotto serving as Peter's retreat. Below the Hermitage, at the foot of the mountain, lies the archaeological site of the shrine of Hercules Corino. This complex is divided into large terraces, at the top of which are the ruins of a chapel with fresco paintings and a polychrome mosaic floor. Further down, at the base of the mountain, lies a camp built for Austro-Hungarian prisoners captured during the First World War. Later, in World War II, the prison camp is reassigned as number 78 and used for the confinement of British and South African prisoners captured during the African campaign. The Abbey of the Holy Spirit, founded in the second half of the 13th century by Peter from Morrone, is a monumental complex whose present structure is the result of reconstruction and restoration after the earthquake of 1706. It has a rectangular plan which opens frontally with a portal made of smooth and rubbly stone from the caves of Mount Morrone. The ceiling of the entrance hall, painted by Brother Joseph Martinez, portrays a dome supported by Ionic columns resting on a balustrade and 4 pendentives, each containing a medallion with a portrait of one of the kings of Naples. The Abbey was headquarters for the congregation and generalship of the Celestines until 1807. Subsequently used for a long period improperly, it has now been restored as a place of great historical and artistic interest. The interior opens onto the courtyard of plane trees, in which is exhibited the facade of the church, designed in Baroque style, typical of Borromini. The project is attributed to Donato di Rocco from Pesco Costanzo. On the cornice, the balustrade is interrupted by a clock, whose mechanism, dated 1730, was made by the Neapolitan Giovanni de Sanctis. At the sides of the church, there are 2 small identical portals in Baroque style. One of them leads to the courtyard of the nobles, the other one to the courtyard of the well. The 2 entrances of Doric order allow access to the upper floor that now houses the regional offices of monuments and fine arts, as well as the administrative offices of the Maiella Morrone Park. The courtyard of the nobles is rectangular, surrounded by an elegant arcade, inside of which the vaults and the walls are decorated with stucco. The upper floor is decorated by pairs of pilasters that contain windows with pediments of stone. The bell tower has a square plan and was built by the General Abbot Donato from Taranto in 1596. It has close similarities with the bell tower of the Holy Annunziata in Sulmona, which had been completed 6 years earlier. The church has a Greek cross plan with a dome over the crossing supported by Corinthian columns. The decorations and cornices in stucco impart a simple elegance to the temple. In the right side of the transept, there is an altar dedicated to Saint Benedict. In the left side of it, the altar is dedicated to Saint Peter. The main altar and the 2 side ones are in polychrome marble. At the center of the apse is a 16th century painting of Neapolitan school depicting the descent of the Holy Spirit. On the counter facade is situated a remarkable organ balcony carved by Giovanni Battista del Frate in 1681 and gilded by Francesco Caldarella. The balcony is supported by 4 pillars. The curved parapet is decorated with bas-reliefs depicting foliage and flowers. In the middle, an oval contains the coat of arms of the Celestines and the general abbot. Other paintings represent landscapes, and one in particular could be seen as a view of the Abbey. To the left of the main altar is the Cantelma Caldora Chapel, which contains the memorial made by Gualtiero d'Alemagna, Walter from Germany, in 1412, commissioned by Rita Cantelmo, Caldora's widow. The sarcophagus rests on Doric columns, and on the lid is reproduced the figure of the Celestine who died prematurely. The front is divided into panels. In the side panels are represented the apostles. In the central panel is the coronation of the Virgin. Behind the memorial is a fresco with the scene of the Lamentation, and on the other two walls, in 12 sections divided by columns, is shown a cycle of frescoes with episodes from the life of Christ. It is a fundamental work for painting in Abruzzo, attributed to an artist called by convention Master of the Caldora Chapel. The crypt has an irregular plan, with cross-vaulted ceilings supported by columns. Preserved on a wall is a fresco in which a monk, probably Peter, delivers a written scroll, perhaps the rule of the order, to the kneeling congregation. Traces of painting are visible on the columns, capitals and vaulted ceilings. The refectory of the monastery is a large room decorated with monochrome mural paintings by Brother Martinez between 1717 and 1719. In the two large lunettes are represented the Last Supper and the Wedding at Cana. On the ceilings and walls, there are episodes of biblical scenes relating to the life of Brother Peter and other symbolic figures. The paintings are enclosed in cornices and panels in stucco, embellished with decorative elements. To remedy the different level of the floors, a staircase with a balustrade of white stone, consisting of two symmetrically curved flights of steps, leads down to the refectory. On the landings are reproduced the emblem of the Celestines and that of Pope Celestine V. A wide and spacious staircase leads to the upper floor of the convent, where the general abbot resided and representation activities took place. Large corridors, elegant little portals in stucco, and a central hall characterize this area, now used as offices.